this is it. Okay. And the position. Okay. Right, we're live. What's going on?
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright still. How was your day?
Good, man, good. Wow,
Mhm.
it was my rest day today, so it was mostly chill. Just laid down, made some food. Yeah, basically.
I thought you said you couldn't go beach because you had loads of paperwork and stuff to
That's
do.
what I thought as well.
But it turns out you didn't, or you were lying. Huh? Which one is it?
Well, yeah. I still try to do some papers today, but I don't think so. Probably not. Just
Yeah.
go to bed early, I
Yeah,
guess.
you did have a couple
Had a
of
good nap though. Had a good nap.
What time did you finish it at?
I don't know. It was a pretty long nap.
It was a long nap.
2 hours nap.
2 hour nap. Was it past 5 p.m.?
Nah,
you-
before. I think it was like around 4.
Yeah.
From 4 to 6.
Because
or
if it's
5.
after 5 p.m., you reckon that's why I always feel groggy if I nap too late, don't I?
Yeah,
So that's why I
there
feel
is
bad.
this weird time.
Yeah.
Like late afternoon. If you sleep that time, like, it just fucks up all your day, really. You just wake up not feeling yourself and
No,
weird
I
and
always
stuff.
I wake up feeling just sweaty and confused and a bit disorientated. It's not good. Anyway, what's the main thing we're talking about today?
Yeah, so I had a thought about it, and I guess we should maybe speak about phones and social media.
Social media.
With phones as well.
With phones, specifically with phones.
Because I mean, it is a byproduct of phones.
Yeah, because social media really started in I think 2006, but it started becoming a health problem in 2010 once people started using smartphones and had social media on their smartphones. Because I think Facebook and whatnot on the laptop isn't as bad. You don't quickly flip open your laptop every 5 seconds and check the same way we do with the smartphones.
Yeah, I think social media only got big when 2013 to 2010 onwards, especially on 2013 when Instagram was made. And yeah, basically with all those apps got big when smartphones were available to pretty much all the society.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's basically how it got big. Social media was around since Facebook was made in 2009, but I think people before that were using MSN, MySpace, stuff like that.
Did you ever use any of those?
Nah. For my first social media was Facebook. Facebook, yeah.
You never used MSN?
Not really. I used the Hotmail version, just to have a Hotmail, a mail, and to be able to create Facebook.
But MSN used to be the one. I remember I was 14, no, probably younger, maybe 12, and I'd get home and just go on MSN and chat to this girl I was, air quotes, dating at the time. I mean, she was the first girl I ever saw in a bra on webcam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was on webcam to her, and then, she was getting changed, and then she just sat down in a bra. I mean, I know she was young, but she had some pretty big, for young, I mean...
She was 12, okay.
Okay,
so basically...
MSN, Facebook. I use MySpace a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, I never used it. I think I only got into pretty much social media and stuff. It was I was about 16, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess before that my life was all about video games and just boy stuff,
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a year younger than me, but I was basically the same. It was my year 11. I was in my last year of school, so I was 16 when people started getting this thing called Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, Instagram, I didn't know what it was. And I didn't really start using Instagram until I was probably 18. But when I was 16, I was just obsessed with cricket, so I didn't give Instagram too much attention.
Yeah.
But one of my earliest memories was on Facebook. I was 12 years old. And you know how secondary school everyone knows everyone?
Mm-hmm.
And I had 150 happy birthday messages on my Facebook. And I was like, oh shit, I felt like a celebrity or something. I just thought it was crazy. I mean, these days I get about 4, 5 maybe. I always get one from my cricket coach from like when I was like 17.
You still get
I
it?
literally haven't spoken to him in like 8 years. And yeah,
But he still sends you.
he still wishes me.
That's good,
Which is
man.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? There are some benefits to social media.
Oh, definitely. I think, yeah. Well, phones. Let's start with phones and then get into social media.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
phones, benefits of phones. There's like loads of benefits. Where are we gonna start? It's basically making people's life easier.
I mean, it's incredible. In your phone, you have a camera, a radio, a sat nav, something to watch things on the internet on,
Access to your bank
You have-
account.
a computer. Well, that's what it's famous. Like your phones now have more computing power than the computers NASA used to put man on the moon. You know, and they used to have like full rooms full of
Back
computers.
in the time, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. These little supercomputers in our pockets, for sure.
Yeah, it's just I think if used in the right way, phones are really good. They're very beneficial. You can use them to navigate and to see maps, and you can really get lost with a phone as long as you have signal, or even if you don't have signal, you can download the maps offline, and you can know where you are. If you get lost or anything, just you can look at your phone, you know exactly where you are.
I always think on the maps thing, I always just think like, fuck, it must have been so hard before mobile phones. Yesterday, we left cricket and we were driving to another town. It was like a 40-minute drive. And I left my phone in Tom's car because it was charging. But I lost him in the traffic. And we were just agreeing to meet at this Weatherspoons. We both knew where we were going. But still, I was like, shit, this is kind of stressful. Like, no phone. Like, we're doing it how you used to have to meet people in the old-fashioned days. Just say,
Yeah.
okay, we'll meet here at this time.
Mhm.
Think of people doing that these days. Going to meet someone. You travel like 2 hours to meet them. You don't have a phone. Like, it's crazy how that's just suddenly become the norm, and it feels so alien to do it without a phone.
Yeah. Also, like when you said about that, I think there are also some benefits, like not benefits, but like good stuff from like meeting people on like without like just
Amigo.
just agreeing to meet somewhere and like yeah, I guess it was like the old fashioned way has some charm in it, into it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And then when you actually get there, it's nice if you have a phone.
Yeah.
How many times now you're in a fucking restaurant, wherever you are? I also have this theory that like it's kind of messing up our postures as well. Because when people use phones for whatever reason, when we're looking at the screen, we don't hold it up level at our face in public.
No
We always keep it right down here because we don't want everyone else to see the creepy shit we're looking at. So we're bent down and we're crooking our necks and
all the time.
So
true.
I think that's not good for our posture.
That is true. Yeah, well, everyone basically suffers from that. From a bad posture. You see young people, young men, and they just have like this weird posture, and you're supposed to be on your prime. Yeah.
So in like 60 years' time, when we're all old as fuck, there's going to be like a whole generation. You know the hunchback people you see?
Yeah.
And they're all crouched.
Everyone's
going to be like that.
furry.
Thanks, Apple. Apple are going to be getting sued for billions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, I used to remember like I say, oh my back hurts, and like and my grandma looks at me like, what's she gonna say? She's 80 years old, and like yeah. And I was complaining more than her, like, what's going on here?
Well, does she have a smartphone?
No.
There you go. Grandma knows.
Well.
Grandma knows. We'll talk about old people a bit later, actually. But okay, what other benefits are
there? Kind of helps capturing good moments.
Memories, for sure.
Good, yeah. So I don't know, you're like in a nice place or something, you can just get your phones out and just take a picture or video of an event. But it also sometimes makes you miss the event. You see, nowadays you go to like
music concert.
Not just that. It basically becomes anything. Everything that's nice, everyone pops out their phone and like they're not even looking and like looking at the thing
they're
that's
looking at their
happening.
phone.
They're looking what's through the phone, what's going on. Yeah.
For sure. Well, I think the music concerts, that's what drives me crazy. Not that there's been a music concert in a while, but when you see the music concert and all you see are these lights because everyone's just videoing it on their phone.
You see just the
Like,
light.
I'm like, you're literally not enjoying this thing. Whenever I go to a music concert, I never do that. And then, like, they always show you, oh yeah, I was here at this music concert, and you see this dark, crappy video of some like stage, and I'm like, I don't enjoy looking at this. Like, if you ever wanted to see the video from someone's taking a music concert or a festival, no.
Yeah,
It doesn't look
especially if
very
it's
good.
taken at night.
Yeah,
cameras are not very
like,
good.
all right, we
Yeah.
get it, you were there, but I feel like most of it's just to tell people, oh, I was here, I was at this place.
Probably not, maybe, but it could be they were having so much fun and they want to keep a little bit of memory of
To
that.
look back on.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
yeah, I guess.
But it gets too much when people, like, every time you go to eat out and stuff, oh, I'm going to take a picture of my food.
Yeah, the meal thing
Yeah.
kind of pisses me off. Like, I don't mind the real rich people I follow doing it when they're at these crazy restaurants and everything looks nice, but like, I know what like average meals look like, you know, you don't have to post on your story all the time. What do you think is the main reason people post on their stories on Instagram then?
I don't know, because I don't do it. So I don't know what people
you sometimes, very rarely.
Yeah, but well, very rarely. But but I don't think I do post the food I eat. I think that's a bit. Don't know. I've never. I don't think I ever done it.
No, but just generally, why do you think people post on their stories?
Don't know. It could be like you go somewhere nice. So let's get it from like my mind. So you go somewhere nice. You meet me, let's say next day, and you start telling me about it. So it could be something like that. So you're sharing it with your friends, but except with social media, the thing with social media, most people are following you. You probably never met them. So if it's just probably just family and friends who are following you, so it's kind of not having to tell each one of them individually, but just like posted. But I'm not. I'm more of like keeping my life more to myself.
You're more private.
Private person. So I was just trying to think, why would someone do that? I think they probably that's their idea, but
perhaps
could be anything.
The thing I find that though is that some of the people that are posting all the time, like every cool thing they do, is like, what do you tell your friends? Like, oh, what have you been up to? I already know because I've already seen it, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no element of surprise and stuff. Now, I think some of it's showing off, maybe a big bit of it's showing off, trying to make yourself come across as an interesting person, saying, oh look, I've been doing this, I've been on this, like I've been in this nice shop, or I've been to this sick place. So to try and impact your friends, I think, is to try and whether it's feel accepted or because I was listening to this TED Talks the other day, and the woman said that when you post, you're posting for other people. Like you're posting, you're not seeing it really. It's for other people. So she's arguing that the reason why you post is to try and impact other people.
Yeah, it could be. I'd probably say that's the main reason, because as you can see, after you post, you always get that feeling. Oh, let me see who viewed it. Like, you keep checking every now and then who viewed it, who viewed your post, who liked it, and like yeah. So I think it's probably that mainly, but it could be depends on. Probably the majority are using it that way, but I think there are also better people, some people who use it, like I said earlier. So they just like to share with family and friends and loved ones.
Because realistically, I feel like it kind of, even though we're doing it to show our friends, we kind of make our friends feel bad about themselves when we post. Because if you feel like when you're seeing people's stories, if you're seeing someone at like a party, I feel like, oh, I'm missing out. If I see someone at a really good place, I feel like, oh, I'm missing out on this as well. Like, I'd say there's probably only one guy. It's this guy called Harry. He's a crazy guy. I met at a party a couple of years ago. He's the only person's like Instagram story that I like genuinely enjoy, because he always just posts like wild, funny shit. and you kind of get this sense. Sometimes he's posting to try and impress people, but most of the time he's actually just doing funny or crazy stuff. Like I watch it like it's like a mini, those Snapchat like mini episode things you get. His Instagram is kind of like that. He's always just on madness and doing that. Whereas most people, it's more the former, isn't it?
Depends on people. Yeah, as you just said, you got different people using it for different reasons.
I do feel like it's this crazy new dimension to society. The social media is so powerful.
You got access to people that probably your ancestors wouldn't see in like 5 times their life, probably more. If they lived their life 5 times longer, they wouldn't probably see as much people as we can see right now. With you literally we can follow and like see anyone from anywhere in the world, literally.
I think that's the cool part of it. It's like people I used to know, like I met at uni, and they live in like different countries now and stuff. And you can kind of see what they're doing now. But then I think, do I really care? I'm not still friends with them. If I was still friends with them, I'd still know what they're doing anyway.
If you have met them before and you have built some kind of connection with them in real life, and then you keep up with them probably in social media, kind of makes sense. But if you meet someone just online and it's all online and you guys never met, they kind of don't know. It's not really. I wouldn't say it could be friendship, but it's not a real connection, or like it's kind of missing something. I'd say
it's definitely missing something in terms of like the chemistry of being with the person in the skin. But then again, I think that the online friendships, it's the new. Do you know what pen pal? It's the new version of a pen pal when you can just write to someone. And some people, they literally write to someone for years and years without ever seeing them. But I actually had that with a girl from London. I can't remember how I started following her on Instagram. But basically, remember when we used to go to the crazy car park, the Rupert Street car park, and the other car park in the centre, with like the mad views. So I started taking those photos and sending them to her, and she was doing the same from London. Like she just loved going to like the mad, finding the nice view spots as well, the urban view spots. So we literally both started chatting and becoming friends over that. Until she started, and then she just started to stop replying. She started ignoring me. Not sure why, but anyway. But it was quite interesting. So I was like, there's this person that lives 150 miles away. I've never met before. We have this common interest, and this technology has just kind of brought us together. Until she stopped replying. So I'm not annoyed about that.
But it also kept you from getting to know people in real life. You could have went out,
spend that
time and energy, because it's not just like talking. Like you're giving out something of yourself. You're giving energy,
body language, energy.
You're giving out energy. You could have spent that energy getting to know someone in real life, but would probably get into general relationship. You could have got like friendship or like anything else.
Well, here's the thing. People say.
So it's like it was. I wouldn't say it was a waste of time. You probably got to know places. You got to know places, but for most days it was just energy wasted. But you could have spent in anything else. The days you were texting and stuff. So, but I think it's a lot of over. Like life, you can spend time on something that like doesn't get you to anywhere, like no like communication or anything else really. So I guess
you got to protect your energy for sure. And I thought I was gonna maybe eventually meet her in London. I'm like, she could show me these 6 spots, but not to be. But for sure. But I think with the online relationships, it's very strange. Like that blue-haired girl, her friend Chloe. She literally has a boyfriend in London, and they met online.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know how wide her Tinder radius thing is. It's like hundreds of miles to be meeting and matching up your boyfriend in London. But a lot of people do find, I don't want to say love, but they meet their girlfriends and boyfriends online, which they may never have met otherwise. And if they do really love them, it's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I think I tried it before, like online dating, like long-term relationship, but I think they don't really work. I think it's really messy. Like you'd be all the time waiting for the moment to meet up and do something together. It's just like there's always something missing, and it's just like you literally know everything about this person, but you haven't spent much time with them. You can know about like their child all their life because all you got to do is like texting basically or like calling or like calling on the phone. But yeah, I'd say yeah. I feel say they don't really they rarely get into something,
Hmm.
lead into something. Yeah,
Did you hear
basically.
about the American guy? It wasn't Tinder. Have you heard of Match.com?
No.
He was the founder of Match.com. It was this Match.com. It was this huge like US dating site, and then basically his wife left him for someone that she met on the Match.com
Oh
site.
shit.
Yeah, that's like I don't even know, but
Oh, that's crazy.
he must be
Yeah.
pissed.
But the excitement though, it does have like some kind of excitement and like
You get a little dopamine rush. You get
yeah,
that
you go
magic.
like though you start imagining stuff as well. Oh, I'm gonna meet up with them here and then do this and probably go there. Might
Mhm.
something, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but I think that's also a factor of it.
Yeah, I think it's a factor as well. But in terms of back to like the actual social media, I feel like it's people are using it more and more, and it's getting to a point where a lot of a person. I literally know people, friends, where they rate people not on the person that they meet and the conversations. They rate people first on their social media account, and they rate them heavily whether they'd even be friends with them or not
Mm.
based on their social media account. Like I told you about that girl, Elise, that I used to go to university with, right, a
Yeah.
couple years ago. Yeah, she was literally, one time she literally said to me, like, oh my God, Harry, I wouldn't think I'd be friends with someone like you. I was like, why, what do you mean? She was like, oh, your Instagram's just so shit, yet we're friends. And I was like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. But it made me realize that, oh shit, some people, they really, but even like,
It's the new form of status.
yeah,
So
the
basically,
social status.
yeah, social status. I think it's the new form of it. You've got
For
many
sure.
followers. You are probably like high in status, but it could be all bullshit because you can put anything online you want. You can be literally living a life that it's not even yours. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen they literally have like these studios that look like the inside of private jets, and people hire them.
Oh,
They hire them for like a couple hours or something, so they can take a photo that
I
makes it
never
look
heard
like
of
they sat in
those.
a private jet.
I never heard that those
You never
things.
heard about it? Oh
Yeah.
man, it's crazy. You'll look it up, like it's ridiculous. But yeah, some people, and my ex, which you'll probably never listen to this, hopefully. But anyway, she one time like she was big on Instagram. Like her days off, she'd just spend like 8-9 hours on it,
Whoa.
just rinse it.
Like a job.
Yeah, like a job. But basically, one time, it was when we were traveling, and I was like, "I'll just leave your phone. Like we're only going here. I know where it is." And she looked at me and she was like, "What's the point? What's the point in doing something if you're not going to put it on Instagram?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh Jesus, how did I not spot this one?" But yeah.
Yeah.
So there is.
Kind of a drug becoming nowadays.
I feel like I've been saying this for a couple of years. I feel like the World Health Organization and they're going to come out with studies and independent institutions like universities and things. They're going to come out with studies in like 10, 15 years time saying that social media use is as bad as like smoking or drinking excessively or something.
Yeah.
I really do believe that.
Yeah, probably we'll get to that at some point. Yeah, because so many studies have proved that receiving a message or a notification gives you a dopamine rush,
Rush.
and yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone can relate. Like you just doing something, and you get a notification or like a message. You feel good. It makes you feel good. Makes you feel a certain type of way.
Makes
You know
you
what I
feel
mean?
wanted. It makes you
Yeah.
feel wanted and important. And
Yeah.
the
Remember when you
vast.
said when you were young you had 140
108,
people
150.
150 people wishing you happy birthday.
Yeah.
Imagine that like happening like for teenagers. Young people don't get much importance from adults because or others typically, because they're just young and
They're
they
not
don't.
emotionally aware. They're not. Think about when you're in school. We're all savages. Like the average
Yeah,
school kid is so mean because we're not emotion. Our emotional
it
intelligence
seems
hasn't
cool.
developed.
No, it is
We're
also,
never.
it seems cool to be. I don't know. Kind of, it's always cool people are kind of rude, so it's like, don't know how it
They're kind
works.
of the little dicks, the funny, rude kids in school. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, back to.
Yeah, also, like, mental health is skyrocketing lately, especially in, like, within teenagers.
Mhm.
Because kids can have TikTok from 13 years old, basically. You can have a TikTok account in 13 years old. And some people are really obsessed with TikTok. And, like,
Are you?
I've never, I never downloaded TikTok. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think it's more dangerous for, like, young, like, teenagers and, like, young,
100%.
yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know if TikTok's. Can you comment on TikTok? I don't know. Can you leave comments on TikTok? How does it work? You get views and likes? Just
I've no
views?
idea how it exactly works, but
Yeah. We
I
are.
think there are people making millions out of TikTok. That's what I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you can
There are
make millions out of
but I
TikTok.
was like 16 years old, but like
The
fucking
US, like,
making millions.
what's that guy? Bryce Hall? He's like one of the TikTokers. And now, like, in Hollywood and shit now, you get, like, all the paparazzi just following around, like, these 17-year-olds that got famous from doing some fucking dance
Yeah,
moves on TikTok.
crazy, man.
It's a mad world we're living in. But no, I feel like if you had a daughter, right? What age would you give her a smartphone, and what age would you let her use social media?
Probably uh
25.
no, well, I'd probably say minimum 16.
I was thinking
Minimum.
16.
That's minimum. And not just a girl, even for a boy as well.
I think it's worse for girls though.
Yeah,
I think the impacts on social media. I would say I'm with you. I'd say 16 as well.
minimum. I say 16. Like if she's really like mature, I feel she's mature and like a little bit mature than her age. But yeah, I don't even think 16 is the right age, to be honest.
I feel like I know it's a massive generalization, but I feel like typically girls take more selfies and post more pictures of themselves out of the people I know on like Instagram and Snap and posting pictures of them on their social media. So I think young girls, it's terrible for their mental health, and they're taking pictures of themselves always. It makes them too self. I think it makes them too self-conscious,
Yeah. Most
and
girls are
also the
self-conscious.
models and stuff. They're looking at these models and these people online. They're either like the Kardashians, they've had a shit ton of plastic surgery, or they're on the front cover of magazines or whatever, and they've just been photoshopped. Like you get all these crazy filters and like I can't remember a couple of weeks back I was chatting to this girl. She took a couple of photos and then she was like, oh, I'm gonna post it on Instagram. I was like, oh, you're gonna post it now? Then she was like, no, I need to go home and edit it.
Yeah.
Like they do this whole like fucking editing thing.
Yeah,
they're doing it
man.
themselves
It's
now,
crazy,
as if they're at
man,
like some photo shoot or something.
Yeah.
So they're just posting these like unrealistic pictures of themselves even, and they're looking at even more unrealistic pictures from whether it's the celebrities or whatnot. Just think if you're like think of the 14-year-old girls or 12-year-old girls and stuff, and all their friends are posting these crazy pictures, and all they see are these celebrities. Think how self-conscious they're gonna get at such a young age. When you're that age though, I don't think you should be thinking of, oh, do I look?
That's
Do I
literally
need
their
my
whole
makeup?
world.
Do I look like this? No, you should be out, just enjoying your childhood. It's such a precious, short period of time, your childhood. I just think it adds all this pressure on them.
What would you say social media is like? If you'd give social media a percentage from your life, what would it be?
What would
How?
it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How much you use it and how important it is for you, and like so this kind of how if you would give a percentage.
Oh, a percentage.
Percentage, yeah.
Of my life.
Of your life, yeah.
I would say it takes up 15%, 20%.
15%. Okay.
Far too much.
How much would you think an average teenager is social media is taking from? Is it
40?
40? I'd say probably more.
Maybe more.
A lot more, because what does young people do? they basically go to school, go back home, and
They're
because
always online.
they just gotta do their homework. Besides from that, they got nothing to do. I think not all, but there are few teenagers like who have responsibility. But I'd say more of them they don't do anything.
Mate.
So if you're
Mhm.
not doing your homework, or like if you don't play sports, or you're more of an indoor person, you're just gonna end up using the social media more and more. And even in school, you see like they're using their phones. Literally, most teenagers have like smartphones nowadays. So yeah.
Well, the government, the UK government, recently just announced they're looking into banning phones in schools by 2022. They think is going to come into effect, and they're going to ban all phones,
Mm.
which I think is a pretty good idea. Because back when I was in school, you had phones, but they weren't really smartphones until like year 11. So we weren't like you'd use it very rarely, but
Yeah.
they still had. In my school, if you got caught with your phone, it got confiscated, and you'd get it back at the end of the day. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think whether it's bullying, whatever, it's not good having
Yeah,
phones in school.
I mean, you can see it in like movies and TV shows, but like those kids, like schools, they have like those group chats, and they literally be bullying each other, or not bullying, but like you see like messages go to all of them, news or anything that basically happens. You do see. I don't know how realistic it is here because I haven't studied in this country. So you'd probably have more to say about that. How like group chats and stuff like within middle school and high school, and I used to call it sixth form and stuff. College.
Sixth form, yeah, college,
Yeah.
sixth form. More
Yeah, I
times
you probably have more say more than me. This.
with group chats.
Yeah, group chats like.
Group chats growing up in school. See, I think I was just a bit too old for group chats growing up in school in terms of the technology.
Yeah.
In college, you had the cricket one, I suppose, but you know, cricketers are like, they're not exactly like mean people or anything. But I think generally, growing up from childhood, like group chats, they tend not to be too good. Because like usually someone always says something or
Yeah.
arguments happen. I was just reading here from uh, West Virginia Education Association. Never heard of it, but it says average 4.5 hours for people in their 20s using screen time, and then 7 hours for teens in this study they conducted in the United States of America. 7 hours a day for teens. And you've got to assume that at least half of that's on social media.
How much time do you think they spend with their parents?
Well, yeah, probably not as
Less
much.
than an hour, they say.
Yeah, maybe.
They probably just
maybe a couple hours. Maybe a couple hours.
Not even like no.
And maybe if your mum might be working part time, or even if your parents get home at like 6 p.m., you have dinner with them for like an hour,
Yeah.
maybe watch some TV with them at the end. It can be a couple hours.
Well,
Sure.
less. I'd say less than
Yeah.
an hour. Realistically.
Well,
Because you have your phone. And like okay.
Oh, so you're saying that you're with your parent, but you're on your phone. That doesn't count as being with them.
Yeah, no, can you count that? You
Well,
can't
it
engage
depends.
in a can you engage a conversation with me as I do if I'm
Not
using
really,
my
but
phone?
You just said when you're with their parents, but so you mean like just no
engaging.
distractions? They
Like,
could be just checking like on their phone for 20 minutes or talking to their parents for 20 minutes, just mixing up.
maybe.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a terrible quality of conversation.
For parents as well, they get back from home. They get back from work. Sorry, they get back from work tired from a long day of work. They gotta cook dinner. Prepare food and probably do some laundry, do some cleaning and like all the house things. They don't even have much energy to give to their kids and spend time to their kids as well. And kids always, not kids, teenagers, alright, teenagers, like they do have a need like to communicate and stuff. And so basically social media have taken over that need. Yeah, so it's yeah. I think they probably realistically like to have a real conversation with it. It's probably less than an hour. Probably I'd say less.
A real conversation less than an hour.
Yeah.
But when you said like how much time they spend with their parents, I classed like even just being in the same room as them, regardless of whether they're reading on their phone or anything like that. But no, for sure. Well, they compete. Social media just competes for our attention, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's taken most of it. Well, because do you know like how phone works? It's like it stimulates our brain as well.
Mm-hmm.
So our brains are all day 20 most of the awakened time is all stimulated. First, what do you do first thing when you wake up?
Check your phone.
Check your phone. Exactly, you check your phone. And you might
Mate, the first like half an hour, if I've not got work that day, I'm a slave to that motherfucker.
Yeah, and like
I'm just scrolling through shit. I don't even know why I'm
you
scrolling.
say let's look a little bit what happened last night. You go on Instagram, see what your friends been doing or people you know have been doing last night, or Snapchat, and you get caught up in like all those stories and stuff, and like what happened for them, and you might even feel a little bit bad if you didn't go out last night because you feel like
FOMO.
I've been missing out.
Fear of missing out, FOMO.
Yeah, exactly, and but is literally you're already starting your day bad on a bad way. Bad. Yeah,
that's the thing. I feel like virtually every time I have a good day, it's because I'm out either surfing or actually out with people or out playing cricket, and I've barely touched my phone.
But
the days when I feel bad and I don't have a good day, like I look at my screen time and that's on like 5-6 hours because it just saps like my brain energy when I'm always on the phone like that, and especially Instagram. Like, I would say I have a genuine addiction problem to Instagram and my phone, and I feel like most people do, whether they like to admit it or not.
Yeah.
But with Instagram, like I told you before, I don't even have the app downloaded. I have to access it through Chrome just because I don't. The app it feels too nice to use. You just like after an Instagram session, I feel like. Well, think about what an addiction is.
Wait, before I forget. Are they even making the Chrome version of it easier to use?
Yeah.
It's just now, the little bit hard thing is to go on Chrome and type Instagram. But that's if you don't have a tab already open. Like, just to go on a year before it. So you couldn't message people direct message people on Instagram. But now you have that feature. In probably a year, like the Chrome version, like the website version, would be very similar to what the app is right now, how easy it is to use it. So, and continue on. That's what I want to say.
Okay, so the definition of addiction, according to Wikipedia, addiction is a brain disorder characterized by compulsive engagement in rewarding stimuli despite adverse consequences. Now I know before I spend 10 or 15 minutes on Instagram, I know that I'm going to feel probably a little bit stale, a little bit brain dead, a little bit worse off than when I started using it. Yet I cannot help going on it. Therefore, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
It really is an addiction.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about the cons of social media. Let's go a little bit more on like the
pros.
Let's talk a little bit about pros. I'd say if you got a business and it's really good to advertise your products, whatever is your product. If it's for example, personal trainer. A personal trainer can even have train people online, have those online programs to people that he would ever have on person, because you just have a amount of people you can train at the same time. But if it's online, you can, of the same amount of time, you can make a program and sell and like advertise it to so many people.
It's far easier to upscale your business. Far easier. The way you can reach people, you can reach. If you know how to build up your platform, you can reach thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Well, this is what I was saying. I think realistically, maybe the reason why I have such a negative opinion on social media, is because I have very few followers. I don't use it for any business type purpose. I only use it to just follow whatever my friends are doing or whatever. But for sure, if you have a big following of 500,000 people, even 100,000 people, social media will, whatever business you have, is going to massively boost it. Your social status, like if you have a couple 100,000 followers and you tweet like an airline or something, or even in a restaurant you're there, they might just give you a free food because you're promoting their restaurant. So
And
there
even
are
make
some
money as
huge
well.
benefits. Yeah.
Make money. You don't even have to have a business. If you have certain number of followers,
Companies will just
companies
pay you
will pay you to advertise.
Have you heard of this UK rapper called RV? He's he's not a huge rapper, but on his Snapchat he gets 100,000 views per Snapchat story, and he posted this excellent Snapchat a couple weeks back when he was explaining to me, not to me, he was explaining to all his followers. He basically 100 quid. He charges 100 quid per advert post, per 10-second Snapchat advert post, and he just broke down the maths. He was like, so I do one of these every day. 10 seconds on my Snapchat always is. The rest of my Snapchats, whatever else I'm doing. And that's 36 grand a year he makes just from that. Just from this Snapchat alone. So there's some real power in it. Like Ronaldo, have you heard of Ronaldo? This was July the 1st. This is from Business Insider. He makes $1.6 million per Instagram post. More than any other celebrity, according to this media analytics firm. And since he started his Instagram, they reckon he's made £42 million. So what's that, like $58 million or something?
Yeah, just talking about Ronaldo.
Obviously, he's the most famous person in the world. But...
Jay, have you seen this video where he moved the Coca-Cola bottle and puts instead a water bottle?
Yeah.
Literally after that, less than an hour after that, the stock price of Coca-Cola dropped massively.
It dropped off the fucking cliff, didn't it? They lost $5.2 billion of the company's value.
That's crazy,
shares.
man.
Can you imagine the directors or something just seeing him move that bottle, just like, no, riffing
that I rate that from him because literally, I probably know, a lot of people don't know about how harmful soft drinks are.
It's the sugar.
It's the sugar, yeah, man.
The sugar's insane. When I was at work like a week ago, my friend was drinking this like apple juice from the vending machine, and he genuinely thought it was healthy. I was like, bro, look at the amount of fucking sugar in this thing. It was like 40 grams of sugar. Yeah. Your daily allowance is like 36 grams. I think the Cokes and that are bad, but what's worse is some of these fruit drinks they sell in like Tesco's and the Co-op or wherever. They pretend to be healthy.
They look
because
healthy.
Unless they're pure squeezed, pure fruit juice, which they never are. It's a healthier type of sugar. But yeah, they're just packed full of sugar.
Yeah, I think it's people getting lazy. I mean, you can buy. You'd rather just drink it. People don't want to like go through the process of like making the juice. You buy like oranges and like carrots and you make the juice out of it. You know, it's a little bit of work.
It's very time consuming. A lot of people don't have the time as well, though.
Really? Does it?
Which, of course, mate, if you're working like, say you're doing a 9 to 5 job, but it's an hour travel there and back, which is very common. Yeah. You're not going to be spending 15 minutes every day doing that. You're not.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not. Like, people don't have the time, but for sure, there should be more of a responsibility
when
be sugar aware.
Yeah, but
we need to be sugar woke, don't we? That's what it needs to be.
Yeah, but people, they can look at, like, if you do, like, a day, you look at back of your day and, like, you see you've been kind of wasting time, like, some stuff that's basically useless. So I guess you could have spent that time, useless time, on other stuff.
Well, look how much time we waste on our phones, on social media. It's easily like an hour or two every day.
Easy, yeah.
I mean, how many hours a day do you need to learn a new language over like 2-3 years? Like all that social media time. It's not like our days are getting longer. Like we just have less time now. Now we have all these smartphones and things.
Yeah, but you just remind me of TED Talk I watched. So this guy, do you know like the 10,000 hour rule?
10,000 hour
rule. 10,000 hour rule.
This journalist called Matthew Syed wrote this really good book on it. Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Let me finish this. So he basically have so many Guinness. This guy will have so many Guinness records. He doesn't have world records, Guinness World Records on the Guinness book. So he's not talented. He doesn't have any like talent or gifts. So it was pretty much, you can literally learn anything if you put on the time. So what he did, on the way to his work, let's say, so he gets into traffic and etc. It's like probably, as you said, an hour drive. So what he bought, he got a German CDs. So always on the way, he put on a CD and he keep listening.
The audiobook, yeah.
Like now you can audiobook version of it. So he literally every day on the way to work and on the way back. That's all he does for learning German. But literally, he doesn't do any other work. He just listens to it on the way to work and on the way back. He done that for, I can't remember exactly the time, but
it was a year. He had a 45-minute walk into work, so for an hour and a half every day he was doing it. And then at the end of the year, he took a 16-day intensive learning course in German. And then but he wasn't fluent, but he was pretty close.
Probably another story about this guy. So he went to Germany. He took his family. They went to Germany.
Yeah, no, it's the same guy. This is exactly the same guy.
And he started speaking German, and all his family been looking at what's going on here. What's going on?
Yeah. He was a fascinating guy, actually, wasn't he? He was a super successful guy, even though he couldn't concentrate for very long.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the power of persistence. And he did the yarn thing, didn't he? He made all the crazy yarn. And he read like a book a day. He did all kinds of shit.
That's crazy.
He was a fascinating guy.
So, do we really not have time?
For sure.
If we can make that. We can make time.
That's what he's saying. No, we certainly do have time.
Yeah.
We all just
how much time we on? How much time we been on?
Right now, 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Right, let me get out the facts. I've got something cool. Wait, one sec. Can you pass my phone? Yes. I was going to talk about. So here's the interesting thing. Everyone, like, when they think of climate change, what do people talk about? They think, cars, driving, meat, flying in planes, etc., etc. Yet basically, here we go. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Apple use about as much energy as New Zealand, which is 45 terawatts a year. So basically what it's saying is the carbon emissions from tech infrastructure and data serves that enable cloud computing and stuff exceed what pre-COVID air travel contribute in terms of just carbon emissions, which is pretty mad. Because I thought it was, so basically those 5 companies produce as much emissions as New Zealand. It's not the biggest country, 5 million people? But even still, that's pretty crazy, isn't it? But they're basically saying that that's from the Financial Times, but with COVID now, everything's becoming more and more digitalized. So there's only going to become a bigger problem, the energy demands of the technology. Like obviously the famous one was Elon Musk with, the Tesla. He went from saying Tesla would start accepting Bitcoin as payment, and then the price of Bitcoin shot up, and he actually made more from when he announced that, and he made more money off Bitcoin than he did the whole last year from Tesla. He doubled it back, although he's still holding the Bitcoin now, so he hasn't made as much. But at the time when it peaked at like $57,000,
you don't know. Maybe he sold it after.
Yeah, true.
We don't know.
It's not public record.
Yeah.
It's true.
Don't have to put it on public record.
So, actually, no, it is public record. I think it is because Tesla's a public company, and he did it through Tesla. But I mean, he could privately be holding those. But that's basically exactly. Bitcoin's super inefficient. It's all the mining of Bitcoin. It's super inefficient. But that's why the founder of Ethereum, it's pretty interesting. The founder of Ethereum, he's been investing billions and billions of his own money to try and he's arguing that Ethereum is he's saying thousands but hundreds of times more energy efficient he's planning to make it than Bitcoin, which in terms of the future and the public consensus and how everyone feels about climate change now could mean that it might overtake it, and
well
but do you know the story about the guy that founded Ethereum? Do you know what Ethereum is, a cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, basically,
I don't know.
He's like this nerdy little Ukrainian guy, but back in 2015, 2014 even, he was accepting Bitcoin. Whenever his friends owed him money, he was like, "Oh, just pay me in Bitcoin instead." So he could just collected hundreds and hundreds of Bitcoin. Because whether his mate owed him money for a pizza, they'd send him 10 Bitcoin at the time is what it was worth. and then he just got disgustingly rich. Bitcoin blew up, and then he just put all that money, developed his own crypto, and then that's where Ethereum came from. But yeah, something we never talked about with the social media is the algorithms. Because the algorithms scare the fuck out of me. Like, think of like Facebook or Instagram. They have over like 1 billion users. They have one. Let me see. How many users do you think Instagram has?
Instagram.
Worldwide.
Active users.
Or just users, people that have had their
600 million?
Why is this internet not working?
But when you go on Apple App Store or Google Play, so you find the number of downloads are like 1 billion. How many times the app has been downloaded?
So it's over 1 billion.
That's the downloads, but I don't know how many active users, so it might vary.
Statista.com says, 1 billion Instagram users. But anyway, it's an enormous, I think Facebook's somewhere around the same, it's an enormous proportion of the human population that are using these apps. Yeah, now go on.
Have you noticed this new algorithm thing? So let's say you've been searching for, keyboards. Okay?
Yeah.
You go on Instagram, you scroll a little bit, and you start seeing keyboards ads popping out, or computer ads to buy like computer stuff popping out on your feed. Also, you can literally be like you're scrolling and like you're looking at a post. You look at it for a certain amount of time, and you probably read the description. You go on Google Chrome and you want to look it up, and it literally, it happened to me so many times, but it literally gives you the thing you're looking for. You just put like one word, literally one word,
and it's just
one letter, sorry, not even one word. You start like first letter, and it gives you what I find that like crazy, man.
I find it crazy as well. It's because they have all our data. They have these fucking multi-billion-dollar supercomputers that are analyzing our every click, what post we've been looking at for how long, and what our interests are. They know us better than our best friends, better than our mothers.
Better than yourself.
Yeah, because of the memory they have, better than anything knows us. I think the thing that fucking creeps me out with that was with adverts. Me and my friend Jack one time, we weren't even searching anything. We were just talking. I can't remember what it was. It was something kind of random. We were just talking about this topic, and then we both started getting adverts for it, and he would just screenshot and send me through the app. Something we're talking. So these motherfuckers are listening to us as well.
Crazy,
like we weren't even on it. I swear sometimes it sounds kind of crazy, but sometimes I don't even talk about something. I'm just thinking about something, and it kind of shows me. Like.
Yeah, I mean that bit is a bit creepy. I don't know about that. I don't know about they can do that yet.
But basically, the problem I have with these algorithms are that. Sure, algorithms are very beneficial in like medicines and economics, and the vast majority of them do benefit society. But with the social media algorithms, right, they're classed. I was reading, is in the Financial Times again. I was reading earlier. These companies, they're not public domains. You know, like when you have the patents for some technology. If it's a UK or a US company, you can go online and basically see what it is, the patent. You can't copy it. You can see the technology is visible. It's out there for everyone to see. But all of these algorithms for Instagram and Facebook, they're classed as trade secrets. So to protect the economic advantage these companies have, it's not open to public domain. And even deeper than that, these experts, I was listening to this interview of this expert, he was an expert on algorithms, and he thinks that the way basically very few, if any, people in the company actually know and understand properly how the algorithm works and really what the algorithms are doing and how they work. So don't you find that scary that these algorithms that can influence billions of people through the phones, the algorithms, people that write the algorithms, and there's a tiny number of people, the people that determine how the algorithms are set up and understand how they work. It's a handful of people are actually in control of this. And I can't remember the guy's name. It was this technology expert I was listening to on another podcast, and he was arguing. I'm kind of with him as well. The people that write these algorithms are some of the most powerful people in the world now. And if not now, they soon will be in the future.
Yeah. The smartest people as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like we used to, 30 years ago, all of the smartest people from the best unis either went into law or finance, whereas now a lot of them go into
technology,
work for like the big Googles and the Microsofts and the Facebook. But these algorithms scare the fuck out of me, to be honest. Just no one knows how they work, really. Yet we're all they're such a big part of all of our lives.
But we can't just ignore.
Yeah, we just kind of think nothing of it. Like you see someone on Instagram, you're not like, oh, that's a $60 billion company with supercomputers writing algorithms that are influencing this person's behavior and psychology. We're like, no, that guy's just checking out Instagram. He's just looking, he's alright.
You remember the documentary we watched about
the social network?
Not the social network, but the one that was like in Saudi Arabia, the tweets. So when they try get like make all those fake numbers and stuff to try and get some hashtags. Yeah.
What's it called? Khashoggi or something? That was not his name. But the journalist who was working for the Washington Post. Yeah. I remember.
Do you remember how they used to like try and get those hashtags up? And it's just fascinating how we
here we go. Yeah, the one about the
Khashoggi. Khashoggi. And how can those tweets or those news can influence the people and like what people can think of any subject. Literally.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not everyone does proof check stuff. No. Most people don't. Most people just take news and like things just from people like that. They don't even fact check.
Well, I was reading earlier from it was in the Times. They reckon almost 50% of young people get their news from the internet, social media, and the internet, which is a very dangerous, because at least when you're reading news from a newspaper, there's some element of objectivity. Everyone gets the same paper. What article you choose to read is different, but at least do you know what I mean? Whereas if you're online, the algorithms, they show you news you think you're going to like.
You think you're going to like,
So everyone's got this tailored news. So everyone's reading a different version of the news now, which kind of explains why people are so divided and the politics is getting so polarized and all of this kind of thing.
It's pretty long subjects. It can take us hours to talk about. Do you want to add anything, or should we wrap it up?
Yeah, 57 minutes. Now I can tell you're kind of done, aren't you?
Yeah,
now you're good. Now we'll wrap it up now. Alright, cool.
Thanks for listening to us.
Thanks for listening. The three people we have listening. Peace.
Peace.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm done, bro. I can't even think.
Yeah, that was good, but we good.